What is up, boys? I'm raw dogging this thing, man. Got a cold open. Hello, shout out to the whole fucking community. You are listening to Just My Two Cents and Aaron the Dog.
Yep.
Welcome to the best fucking 2024 movie show that has ever fucking existed.
Yep.
Aaron, what is up, dude? How are you, man?
What up? What up? It's good to be back on the YouTubes with not the cosmic countdown, I guess the cosmic best movie review show of 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't. I'm excited.
Working titles.
Yeah, whatever the title is, it's pretty obvious what this is. Talking about the best movies of 2024 in some shape or facet. So I'm excited to talk with you and yeah, just we had a good time talking about our 100 favorite movies of all time. So now we're just talking about our favorite movies of one year. It should be easy. And shout out
Yeah,
to
dude.
ATC.
Yeah,
But
man. She made this overlay. And dude, shout out to you for joining me again. The Cosmic Countdown was such a fucking blast. That was such a labor of love, man. That was a fun little project, and it was just a fucking good time. And it was just the best part was just getting to watch all those movies again. But check that out if you guys haven't seen it. Aaron and I counted down our top 100 favorite movies ever, and we made a damn show of it. But yeah, here we are doing the best and some of the worst movies for us in 2024, and we have it broken down into several categories. This was Aaron's idea, actually, to do this kind of end of the year movie show, and of course I was fucking game. So here we are, and we, like I said, we broke this down into categories. We went by the genres, and a lot of these are what we kind of consider the best of whatever genre that came out this year. But then there's a couple categories. We did kind of like best surprise and also most disappointing, and then a couple more kind of categories that we will reveal here shortly. But we can kick it right off, man. Like I said, shout out to everyone that will watch this or is in the chat right now. Stubborn Mick, what up?
yeah, and I think we didn't talk about this ahead of time, but we're going to try to keep this semi-spoiler free since these are new movies.
Yes, definitely. I'll do my best to talk in general terms. And yeah, Aaron is right. So yeah. So like I said, I kind of broke it down into genres to start off with. So the first category that we will go with. So this is myself, just my two cents, and Aaron the Dog's best 2024, and we're going to start with drama. So I have you up for this one first, my man. What do you consider? Did you consider the best drama film of 2024 in your opinion?
So, yeah, I mean, first of all, I just want to shout out AMC A-List. It's the way I've been able to watch a lot of these movies in theaters. My wife and I like to go to the movies quite a bit, particularly the horror movies. But A-List, you get three movies a week for like $20 a month. So if you go to more than 2 movies in a month and you're near an AMC, you should get A-List. But that's why I've been able to see a lot of these. But there was a ton of really, really good movies that came out dramas wise this year. I'll name 3 of my honorable mentions, and then I'll go into my favorite of the year. But let's go over the 3 honorable mentions really quick. First is Challengers. If you've not seen it, over on Prime. Zendaya in basically a love triangle while playing the game of tennis that involves love. You get it on the multiple levels there and everything, symbolism and shit. But no, it's a really good movie. Go check it out. Perfect Days is one probably not a lot of people have heard of, but very good director, Wim Wenders. He's a German director from way back in the day.
Is it Days like Days of the Week, or is it Days like Dazed and Confused?
Perfect Days, Days. He's made some just great movies back in the day. Wings of Desire, Paris, Texas. Just really legit.
Heard of that one.
So if he's still making movies, it's just a movie about a janitor living in an Asian country who's basically very, very happy. And it's just basically about how you make the most out of your life, not based on what you do, but how you do it and everything like that. Very good. And then Evil Does Not Exist, another movie that basically is about corporations ruining the world and how, you know, the small communities have to stand up against it. But it's really good shit. My number one drama of the year, though, I love A24. The studio just happens to give a lot of directors and creators I really appreciate platform. And my pick is one that I don't think is still getting enough love. It's called Sing Sing. Have you heard of Sing Sing?
I have not heard of Sing Sing until just today when you told me that that was going to be your favorite drama of this year. So
Yeah, and that's
lay
like,
it on me.
and so most of the cast is actually playing themselves because it takes place in a prison. So I'll just read the synopsis and I'll leave it at that. But trust the process. Divine G, imprisoned at Sing Sing for a crime he didn't commit, finds purpose by acting in a theater group alongside other incarcerated men in the story of resilience, humanity, and the transformative power of art. And Coleman Domingo is the star of this movie. Coleman Domingo, people need to know more about. And it is about the prison in New York, base, and just about an art program within that prison. Just a really beautiful story that is not at all preachy while giving you a lot of themes that you just have to be smart enough to kind of watch to pick up. I just think it's a very genuine movie as well. These people are often playing themselves. Some of them have been incarcerated or are still incarcerated. So it's just like completely authentic. You can't accuse it of anything else. And so highly recommend this one. And I don't think it's getting enough love. I'm sure around the Oscars it might get a little bit, but we'll see.
Nice, dude. Well, I will definitely check that out, and I have to. I got to add that to my watch list, dude. Which is like I'm gonna fucking run out of room.
Yeah, it's ever growing. That's everybody's problem. I get it.
There's some I actually got to take off of this because I have checked some of these off the list, but
all right, and I haven't seen Weeds, Moist, but I'll check it out because I haven't seen a movie like this, so pretty good.
Sorry, I'm gonna save this. All right, that is added to the watch list. Nice, dude. Okay, so sorry, let me take this down. I'm horrible at multitasking. Sorry, everyone. But shout out to everyone that's in the chat right now, man. We had 5 people in here a second or two ago. But yeah, Stubborn Mick, Moyes, good to see you, boys. Stubborn Mick says Sing Sing is East Coast rappers, dude. Every East Coast rapper's reference point for everything. That's funny. That's hilarious. Yeah, like that or Rikers. So nice, dude. I'll have to check that out. I do like a good drama like that. That's like very realistic. So my honorable mention for best drama is there's a couple movies like this too where it's like you could put this in like maybe another genre or like category maybe. But I felt like this movie had plenty of drama and plenty of human emotion and some crazy moments. But yeah, it was Alex Garland's Civil War. For anyone that's seen that, it's a good I guess you call it like a sort of like a military thriller drama sort of action movie. Like it's one where you could fit into like several different like categories or whatever. But yeah, there were some like really, really intense moments in this movie, and it's shown spoiler alert, it's shown a lot through the eyes of these war photographers, but that's about all the spoiler I'll give. But if anyone hasn't seen it, man, it's really fucking good, and highly recommend it. And pretty like for the subject matter, like pretty realistic. Like I don't know if that's like exactly how the shit would go down, but like in relative terms, like pretty fucking good. Like I could imagine it sort of looking something like this kind of deal. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I liked it a lot.
I mean, we're 2 for 2 on A24 movies to start. So A24 sweeps the drama category for 2 cents.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Alex Garland, I'll watch anything he puts out. I really do like his stuff. I know, like, he's kind of divisive at this point. I know a lot of people hated Men. I didn't mind Men, but I get the complaints about it. And then Annihilation, I think, is close to the M word. An Ex Machina might be the M word.
Dude, Annihilation fucking rocks. I like Ex Machina too, but dude, Annihilation is so fucking good, and I don't get like why people fuss about that movie. It's like just
Yeah,
shut the fuck up.
Annihilation
It's
is my
like it's
favorite
cool.
of his. Annihilation is my favorite of his stuff. So, but and yeah, 1917 is nothing like Civil War, Mick. Yeah, Civil War I really liked as well, and it predicted a few things pretty easily right away. And I feel like because it hits so close to home, it kind of gets a little bit too criticized by some people. But at the same
Right.
point, the movie itself, like the sound design, I saw this in IMAX or Dolby, one of the two, but
Oh
it was
man.
just like shaking the seat. It's some of the most startling like bullets I've ever heard in a movie when they happen. It felt very real. Yeah, I would include this in drama. I included this in another one of my categories I'll be talking about. But the thing they always say with one of a friend of mine, he says drama, also known as movie. So pretty much
Right,
any
right.
movie can be fit into that. So
Exactly. It's like back in the day, it was either dramas or comedies. It was like one of the two, and you stick them in one.
yeah, and I forgot to also mention another A24 movie that was on my honorable mentions. Queer just came out with Daniel Craig. Absolutely fantastic, surreal masterpiece by Luca Guadagnino. So Luca Guadagnino did Challengers as well as Queer, both coming out this year. I don't know how he did that. It doesn't make any sense because these are like two movies that should have taken like 5 years apiece to make with how good they are. So
That I've heard of I've definitely heard of Challengers. I've seen like I heard all the hullabaloo about that shit. But
yeah,
what up, Wine Time?
dude, you gotta get on. Josh O'Connor is gonna be Bond. You gotta to see Challengers. He's in that as well.
Hell yeah! Shout out to my dude Wine Time Sports, man. Shout out to the whole pub. What up, Wine Time? Yeah, dude, we're just me and my buddy Aaron, dude, we're just talking about the best and some of the worst movies of 2024 this year. Switching it up a little bit right before the holidays, man. Hope y'all are all getting towards the end of the work year, and the holiday season is coming up soon. I know some people got to work all the way through that motherfucker, but shout out to all you guys, man.
Yep.
I don't know. It's gonna be hard for me to get into these movies anymore because I feel like we've had ad nauseum covered almost everything except for Grenada and maybe the Panama Canal. Yeah, I feel you, dude. But that's what me and Aaron are here for, to give you the choice
I'm
notes.
telling you, there's
You can
always more
sift
movies.
through the bullshit a little bit.
There's always more movies.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm looking.
Can't
So
wait.
yeah. So stick around, everyone that's watching this right now. Aaron, when we get through this kind of award show of ours, we're going to talk about some of the movies that we're excited about most coming up here.
Yeah, we'll talk about Christmas and going into next year because there's so many movies coming out on Christmas I want to talk about. So
for sure. So the best drama, and again, this is another movie where you could kind of stick it in. You could stick it in thriller. You could stick this in thriller. You could stick this in fucking, I don't know. You could stick this in crime. You could stick this in a couple different categories. But this was the best drama of the year for me, and just a really fucking good movie. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I thought it was really, really good. And I was for the subject matter, it was fucking gripping for me, man. Conclave was my favorite drama of the year. This is a really fucking good movie, man. For anybody that hasn't seen it, this is starring Ralph Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, Lithgow, and Isabella Rossellini. It's a sort of a papal thriller, if you will, about the spoiler alert. This is sort of a synopsis, really, or setup. It's about the Pope. The Pope dies, and they have to figure out who's going to be the next Pope. Drama ensues, some conspiracy, some treachery, and it's just fucking good, man. Like, not normally what you would think would be just like a searing thriller, but the acting is incredible. Stanley Tucci is not really he never really gives a bad performance, and neither does Ralph Fiennes. Like, they're both just really, really fucking good actors, and this movie is fucking top notch.
Dude, Isabella Rossellini, what you know about that? What you know about that? John Lithgow, like, come on, this movie top to bottom. And Edward Berger, 2 for 2 directing for me. I really liked All Quiet on the Western Front, his remake. It was fucking metal.
Dude, that is a tough watch, but that is an essential fucking. If you like war movies, dude,
It's like it kind of reminds. This movie is such a change of gear, but man, I would love to see this win Best Picture for real. So I think this is a great.
It's got the makings, right? It looks like a movie that would win Best Picture.
But when you watch it, it's so much more interesting than that. See, I was going into it, and I was kind of expecting Tropic Thunder, the Priest movie from Tropic Thunder type
right.
of fake.
Right, dude, with the candles and shit.
Yeah, and just like Isabella did her dome thing, man. She did her dome thing,
she did, dude. Shout out to Moise with the inside jokes.
Dude. But yeah, this movie is great. I heard so much hype about it going in. I was getting like nervous when there's that much hype, and it just completely lived up to the hype. I put it on like 9 a.m. on a Saturday, which, by the way, if you're not doing morning movies, people, you're doing it wrong.
Dude, it's good times, man. Wake and bake and put a flick on that you like.
It's the best time to watch a movie. People can fight me about that. It's the best.
Dude, I know you're not a coffee drinker, but dude, I get that first cup of coffee in me, dude. It's like when my brain starts to activate the most. I get it. My good energy comes from. It's like, do you put a flick on, man? You really get into that shit.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't drink coffee, but whatever my version of coffee that gets me going in the morning, it's just like the same thing. My brain's getting going, and this movie was like clicking into gear as I totally dug this one. Great pick. Really great selections all the way around. I
could have put this in most surprising too, because it was, again, like you look at a movie like this or movies that have been like this, and you just like, oh, guys, it's gonna be a snoozer. It's gonna be boring, but it was fucking good, man. It was intense.
And of course, anytime's a good time to watch a movie, but people don't think of the morning and watching movies. They really
right.
Don't.
It's normally like a nighttime activity. You know, you turn all the lights off and shit. You know.
Dude, even if I had to get up early to watch a movie, I wouldn't. I've done that plenty of times. But yeah, I recommend all these. Obviously, I recommend My Sight, but I also completely condone on your, recommendation so far, and that might not happen throughout this list. So,
oh, dude, exactly. We're gonna disagree a couple on some of these. We're gonna have some duplicates, and we're both. I think we both have pretty fucking good taste, and I feel like that's why we've kind of come together in these kind of movie streams and shit, man. So yeah, we're gonna help you find the choice nugs of 2024, boys, and maybe some stinkers to avoid here. But great to see y'all got 6 people in the chat. I like to see that. Oh, yeah. Anything over 5 is pretty good for like. I don't do a lot of movie shit on this channel, and this is a very tiny channel anyway. So I appreciate everybody being here. Smash the like button, and dude, thank you, Bud, yo Ted. So let's press forward. We're gonna go the opposite of drama, comedies. We're talking comedies, boys. ATD, hit me with some of your favorite comedies that wasn't like your favorite, but some honorable mentions.
So this one, comedies definitely you can stretch out that like a lot of genres you can, and yes, the days of the Tommy Boys, the Black Sheeps, the dumb comedies, it's hard to really find those on a lot of lists. So a lot of black comedies this year, dark comedies for me, and a couple that are kind of so a few honorable mentions I have. First is The Book of Clarence. That came out like way back in February. It's a religious horror or religious comedy. I'm so used to talking about horror. A religious comedy movie with Keith Stanfield playing a Jesus-like character, and it's just has a lot of really good commentary on origins of religion, race, kind of combining it all together, and just kind of went under the radar. It was weird. I don't really know why it did. I think it was a very different, So I wanted to mention that. And that's definitely one of the more pure comedies. Megalopolis. I just wanted to talk about this at some point. Fucking insane. Have you seen Megalopolis?
No. I've seen some like clips. I've seen a few
you have to get so high and watch this movie, dude.
I've seen some compilations of like some of the scenes and how it's almost like an unintentional comedy. Like,
did you ever see Southland Tales?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
So there's just all these crazy movies that just shouldn't exist and somehow end up existing, and this definitely one of them. And yeah, Francis Ford Coppola did too much weed, and good for him.
It was just like he didn't care. He's like, I'm just gonna make a movie. I'm not gonna think about if it's good or not. It's just gonna be
It was
crazy.
everything and nothing all at once.
Yeah, it was just like throw up. It was just like creative throw up. Just blah.
Yep, it was insane. Next, it's been a while since I mentioned an A24 movie, so A Different Man. That's Sebastian Stan, one of his 2 movies that came out this year. The Apprentice, not on my list, but also really good. And Sebastian Stan, just as an actor, like one of the goats going
He's good,
right now.
dude. He's growing on me a lot.
A Different Man is wild, and it is very, very dark comedy, but very good. It definitely could be considered more of a drama. I think it's one of the best of the year, though. Really good. And then my second to last would be Memoir of a Snail. Marion Max director Adam Elliott's back. And if you know anything about him, stop motion, claymation direction, like kind of like Wallace and Gromit style, but makes very adult animation with very, very deep themes. These movies, little tiny mushrooms trips, but without all the psychedelic aspects of it and just the deep introspective kind of aspect. It really just intensely good movies. I don't know how else to put it, but Memoir of a Snail, amazing. And it brings me to my best comedy of the 2024s. Yorgos Lanthimos came out with a movie this year. Three different boys. I named my cat after him, for God's sakes. It's about 3 fables, basically following, 3 different people. And I'll go into a little bit, but it's Kinds of Kindness. This movie is absolutely fucked up. It is Yorgos getting back to his truly peculiar roots. It is nearly 3 hours long. It is unapologetic. Just look at that poster. I can go through that. Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Willem Dafoe, Margaret Qualley, Hong Chow, Joe Alwyn, Hunter Schafer. I mean, it is just absolutely stacked, and everybody is at their weirdest. It's 3 different fables. One's a man without choice who tries to take control of his life. Basically, in each one of these, that's what the theme is. One's a policeman who's alarmed his wife is missing at sea, and he's returned home that she's seemed to return home a different person. The next is a woman determined to find a specific someone with a special ability who is a prodigious spiritual leader. Each one going into completely weird, batshit crazy directions, and all ended up connecting. I just really, really dug this. It's just Yorgos at his weirdest. Honestly, I feel like Jesse Plemons, who he didn't really bring up in Civil War, but was probably the best part about Civil War.
Yeah, uncredited in the craziest, most intense scene, or one of them in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. The scene so many people know about and should. And yeah, it's just pure unadulterated weirdness, and just everything I love about Yorgos and more. I had a great time seeing this in theaters, and laughed my
I'll have to check it out. It looked like from at the offset, I'm like, oh god, this is going to be another Yorgos, Wes Anderson, just weird, quirky hipster comedy. But I'll say this, man, Emma Stone is a funny chick. Plemons is pretty good in comedic roles. Willem Dafoe is fucking ridiculous when he gets comedic. So I'm gonna have to check it out, man. If it gets a vote of confidence from you, I'm a
Yorgos stan, so
I know, but I'm gonna add it to the list. All right, Kinds of Kindness.
Yep.
It's getting put on the list.
Put it on the list.
Yeah, Aaron has seen a lot more 2024 movies than I have, but I tried to catch up as much as I could.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not about how many movies you see anyways. So
no, it's not. But I just I'm glad that I was able to see enough to at least get a list together. Because dude, before when you mentioned that to me, I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude, that sounds great." And I was like, "Oh shit, I've only seen 2 fucking movies that came out this year."
Right.
But yeah, okay, it's added to the list. Nice, man. Yorgos does it again. He makes me hate.
Yorgos Lanthimos makes good fucking movies.
He fucking hates you too. You make him hate fucking Irishmen. Nah, Mick, it's good to see you, man. Hope you're enjoying your Friday, and everybody else in the chat. Shout out to the 6 people in the fucking building. Yeah. All right, so I did not see that many comedies this year, but I got a
Comedies.
couple that I enjoyed. One of them is pretty fucking obvious, like it's a total fucking dude bro movie, but I did enjoy it. It wasn't like laugh out loud funny, but it was like enough to where I wasn't annoyed and like it made the movie. It was like it's an action comedy movie. Plenty. All right, let me get this down. So my honorable mention for best comedy of the year was The Fall Guy. Fucking Gosling and Emily Blunt are pretty good together. It's the stunt guy who gets wrapped up in the real world shenanigans. It was pretty good. Like it was like I said, I didn't see that many comedies, and like it was just like a good solid like 7.5. Like there were some yucks in there, like some good, little meta moments and stuff. But it's like I consider this like, oh my god, it was just a fucking riot from start to finish. But again, like Aaron was mentioned earlier, there wasn't too many like pure comedies. They're all kind of like indie comedies or like dramedies or fucking action comedies. So this was kind of like definitely like an action comedy, but overall I thought it was pretty entertaining. I was expecting to kind of like roll my eyes the whole time, but I was like, I didn't hate that. Pretty decent. So that's my honorable mention. And this was one where I could have put it as like an honorable mention for like a surprise. Because this was another one where I was like, oh god, what is this? Like another one of these kind of movies. But it actually ended up being pretty fucking good and actually got a couple belly laughs out of me. And I watched it very, very recently. So it's still fresh in my memory. But my favorite comedy of the year was a Richard Linklater film called Hitman. It came out earlier in the year, obviously. But it's kind of like a showcase performance from Glenn Powell. He plays an undercover kind of like mole for the cops who gets people to like give confessions, but he plays hitmen that get people that are trying to like hire people to kill their relatives to like confess and whatever. So that's the setup or whatever. But he gets involved with this chick and it goes sideways. But it was pretty funny, man. Like I thought the supporting cast was pretty good. What's her name? Retta was good, and Sanjay Rao were both good as like his co-workers. They were pretty funny. They provided a lot of the comic relief. But Glenn Powell was good in this. This is a good movie if you like sort of like genre blenders like this. Like it's not like, I'd say it's more of like a crime comedy, like a crime thriller comedy more than like action. There's not a ton of action scenes or it's a good movie. There's some good laughs, and overall I thought it was surprisingly good. It was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I did this. Here's where we have our first disagreement because I did not like this movie. Honestly, like I feel like I got a different copy of this movie from everybody else. Like because I just heard everybody loving it, calling it sexy and fun and all this. I was just like, it's all right, and that's it. That's it. Like I like Glenn Powell a lot. I feel like he is being a little bit forced down our throats, but it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't connect to this movie the way I feel like a lot of people seem to connect to it.
Oh no, dude, no hard feelings here. And like I said, I was kind of struggling to find and I was expecting to really not like this movie, so I probably could have put this in like most surprising. But again,
well, I love Richard Linklater too, so I was expecting to like it that much.
I don't think it, dude. This has like a 96 or something on like Rotten Tomatoes. And again, I'm like Rotten Tomatoes is not anywhere near the be all, but like, yeah, I don't have it that high. Like I would probably call this again sort of like The Fall Guy, where it was like 7.5, maybe like 8.
Yeah,
thought it was like maybe
the comedy genre is just kind of down in general.
Yeah, but I liked it. I thought it was good. Like it's sort of on the same level as The Fall Guy, like a sort of a genre blend or whatever. But that was it for me. But we can move forward into the next one. Let me get this shit down here.
Yep.
Alrighty, drop that, and boom. Okay, the next genre is action. We're gonna go to action movies. ATD, hit me with some of your honorable mentions and everyone else for best action movies of the year.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like there's some decent newer action movies, but action is kind of one of the spots where I feel maybe closer to how you feel about comedies, even though I do agree with what you had to say about comedies as well. But I do have a few action, one drama-ish action, one comedy-ish action, one just action. The action wins. Axel F was one of my honorable mentions, though. And honestly, this could go in best surprise as well because I was so dreading this movie for the years and years. I've heard the rumors of it coming out. I'm a huge Beverly Hills Cop fan. And I just was like, usually when it takes this long, it's not going to go well. But with this one, I feel like the action was the best part of it. The comedy was pretty good as well. But this is like a pretty much like ode to the second Beverly Hills Cop more than the first one, in my opinion, like where it was like an action comedy, not comedy action. So really good stuff, like some good set pieces as well. And it's too bad that didn't get to see it in theaters because it just went straight to Netflix. But it is what it is. Next, Civil War, we talked about it already, but it could be action, it could be drama.
Yeah, for sure.
Put in action, even though it definitely has a lot to say. But my pick for action is the directorial debut by Dev Patel, Monkey Man. This movie is fucking badass, man. Saw it in theaters, loved it. Great fucking, great cinematography. Great. I mean, just look at that poster. Like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? Like, this is absolutely badass role for Dev Patel. He stars as a young man who's eager to make a living in an underground fight club where night after night, wearing a gorilla mask, he's beaten bloody by more popular fighters for cash. After years of suppressed rage, Kid discovers a way to infiltrate the enclave of the sinister elite. And yeah, you can call it Indian John Wick if you want, but it's a lot more than that. And yeah, it just really impressive, both acting and directing from Dev Patel. Yeah, I think he's one of the best talents working today on both sides of the camera. Yeah, I just really think there's some incredible sequences in this. I think this is like an absolute classic that not enough people have seen yet. Yeah, it's just a good old-fashioned revenge flick, man, but it's just done so well. And yeah, really just like Bollywood John Wick. Give me more of that. Sharkflow Copley plays a very small role as a ring announcer, but he's so fucking good.
So I'm not going to go like we did on the last one. It's not like I dislike Monkey Man. I got a little overhyped for this, and I heard everyone talking about how fucking good this is, and it is good. I didn't like it quite as much as you did, but it's not like I can really shit on it either. It was just, I guess my expectations were a little bit too high. But dude, there are some sweet sequences. Dude, the chase sequence is crazy. When he's getting chased by the fucking helicopter, that's gnarly. And like, yeah, the fight sequences are good. Again, maybe like 10 minutes too long, but I'm kind of nitpicky about that shit in a lot of movies. But it's good. It's a good action movie. The fight scenes are sick, and he's good, man. He's a very like compelling protagonist, and like, yeah, again, I was kind of like worried, like, oh, dude, he's directing and starring. Like, God, what is this going to be, a fucking vehicle? But no, it was good, man. I liked it. It was,
seeing this in theaters definitely increases the enjoyment. I don't know how I'd feel about seeing this just at home.
Oh, wait, dude, it's way better than Bullet Train. Oh yeah,
yeah.
No, it's good. Like, I can't like. And I can't even put it in most disappointed because it wasn't like I was like, oh, this fucking sucks. Like it was good. I had built it up too much. But no, it's solid, man. It's solid. I like it. Okay, so I can't even really remember. This probably would have been an honorable mention for me. There was a couple other movies one coming up that you could put into action. And some other ones where it's kind of like almost an action movie. But this one, this one you could put in other genres too. But to me, I'll just throw it out there. This was the best action movie to me. It was fucking sick. And I can almost put it in pleasant surprises. It won't be a surprise to some people, but dude, I think this movie fucking rocks. the best action movie of 2024 to me was the new installment of the Mad Max saga, dude.
Nice.
I was kind of getting. I'll be honest, man. Like, I am not a huge fucking Fury Road guy. I was actually kind of like, I think Fury Road's a little bit overrated, but dude, and I was kind of like, oh god, is this going to be another? Just like, I felt like I was just going to be another slog, like another kind of, oh god, it's a spinoff. What the fuck is this? But dude, this movie fucking rocks, man. This is like a great, like, you can see Fury Road, like, but it's just a good fucking like story that is within that universe. And like, dude, George Miller still got his fucking fastball, man. Like, it still has that. There's something about the way he shoots a movie and the way the camera moves, where it's like, it's really like an electric like feel to it, where it's like really visceral and like right in your face. It almost feels like you're right there. And like just some of the craziest like road battles and like car chases and shit like that, like still to this day for me, man. But this movie rocks. It's a kick-ass action movie. Lots of sweet gunfights. There's some like fist fights and stuff too. Chris Hemsworth is awesome. Like, he's this unhinged baddie, and like he fucking, you can tell he's having fun with it. Just kick-ass movie, man. And just a great spinoff, in which is normally something I kind of like, almost like recoil. I liked it.
Yeah, no, I was surprised. This could be my most surprising for sure, because I
almost put it in that, where it was like it's like, really, like, but nah, I didn't think it was gonna be that good.
Yeah, I also think that Fury Road's just kind of overrated.
Yeah, I did, and I know a lot of people that liked it. Was one of those.
I don't think it's overrated. Yeah, like people say it's the best film of the 2010s. Like, I don't even kind of see that.
Yeah, I disagree, but it's still good. But I think Furiosa is better. I thought this movie fucking rocked.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it has like a lot of good like and I won't spoil anything, but it has a lot of good Easter eggs and like homages to the rest of the saga. Like, it's very, very much a Mad Max story.
Yeah.
So here we go. So we can press on to sci-fi now, and I will let you kick it off. Your honorable mentions for best 2024 sci-fi. The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, this was a pretty good year for sci-fi. Like, again, more off the beaten path for sci-fi. I don't think like mainstream wise a lot like for my list is going to be there. The first is The Beast. It's an AI sci-fi tech movie. I actually saw it on Criterion Channel, which released a few of my favorite 2024 movies over there. Really good movie. Don't want to spoil a lot about it, but Léa Seydoux in it. She's very, very good. You've seen her in a lot of stuff. Very different kind of movie. Love Lies Bleeding, another A24 movie, making the list here. This one's honestly more like crime action, but there's a little sci-fi angle to it too with some steroids. So why not? Caddo Lake. If I'll just say this, if you like the show Dark on Netflix, you're gonna like Caddo Lake and see some familiarity there. And that brings me to my best sci-fi of the year, and this was definitely a surprise because I didn't even know this movie really even was on my radar till I put it on. It was on Hulu. I watched it still, I believe, on Hulu. It's called The Animal Kingdom. I believe it's a French movie. It is in a world hit by a wave of mutations transforming humans into animals. Francois does everything he can to save his wife. As some of the creatures disappear into a nearby forest, he and their son Emile embark on a quest that will change their lives forever. This one is just really, really an interesting kind of father and son coming of age story. It's just like, kind of reminds me of like a parallel universe to The Lobster in some ways, which is my favorite movie of all time. I just feel like it's an absolutely hidden gem and like really leads to a very earned conclusion by the end of it. But this world is just very developed and lived in, and I just don't see people talking about this movie. And it just like to me, is one of the best of the year. It is still on Hulu. I just feel like people should go check it out. It's fucking good.
I'm adding it right now, dude, because I love like a unique story like that and a unique kind of like world that gets built in like a couple hours. Like that's
Yeah, it's 2 hours, tight movie. It's good.
Daddy likes a nice tight movie. 2 hours or under. Whew, that's a sweet spot.
Yep.
All right, let me add this. Where the fuck is my watch
The
list?
Animal Kingdom on Hulu right now.
Okay, Kinds of Kindness and Animal.
The Animal Kingdom.
The Animal Kingdom.
Yep. Hi, Chico. Hi.
What up, Chico?
Yep, Chico back from the vet because he ate chocolate today.
Don't be doing that. You'd be shitting everywhere.
Yeah, he's fine. He just went with mom to work.
Nice.
Yeah, he's an idiot. But yeah, no, it's not only a really absurd plot, but like it works and you get very used to it. A movie that reminded me of also, it's called Border. If you ever heard of that, that's another one that kind of reminds me of. But yeah, just a really good legit movie that I still don't see anybody talking about, man.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it before today, but it sounds pretty fucking cool. I'm very intrigued by the premise, and I'm gonna check it out.
I'm
gonna check it out. So I'll make this quick. My best sci-fi is actually another movie that I have coming up, so I'll just save some time and I'll just cover 2 in 1 whenever we get to that. But we can move on to crime films. And yeah, why don't you kick this one off, Aaron the doggy?
Did you say your sci-fi movie?
No, my sci-fi movie is like the same as like another movie that I have coming up. So okay. I'll just save some time and like put them both together. Yeah, I'll cover them both when we get to it.
Okay. So on to the crime genre. This is another one where I feel like on the mainstream, they aren't quite breaking through as much, but you can find a lot. One of mine is on Netflix. One is Conclave. That's where I found Conclave.
You can totally put that. It's
crime. Yeah. Organized religion's a crime. The church is a crime. There's lots of crimes happening within all of that. But yeah.
Oh yeah, crime thriller for sure.
Yeah, another one that I actually just reviewed on our horror channel this week. So if you check out Why We Love Horror with my wife Abby and my friend John Marr, we reviewed The Soul Eater. And this is definitely one of my favorite crime movies of the year, man. It's a really good procedural with a little bit of a supernatural dark element. It's written by some French people, so you know it's going to get fucked up and dark. The Soul Eater. Rebel Ridge is the Netflix movie that's on my list. And this movie is by Jeremy Saulnier. He did Green Room, which a lot of people really love. I'm so on that, but Blue Ruin to me is definitely one of those movies that is
Blue Ruin's awesome, man.
Fucking great. And this movie is fantastic. Aaron Pierre, I believe is his name, mid-sized sedan from Old, one of my favorite movies of all time, as anybody on this channel should know. But yeah, Rebel Ridge, really good kind of story about a guy who's accused of a crime he didn't commit and what he's doing kind of in the fringe of society to get away from it. I'm
sorry to cut you off. What did you say before Conclave? What was the movie you put up there?
The Soul Eater. So
Conclave was the first one, and then The Soul Eater.
Yeah, Conclave, The Soul Eater, okay. Rebel Ridge. And then brings me to my favorite crime movie of the year. And I believe you watched this movie earlier this week, and I don't know if it was before or after I sent you my list, but it's The Last Stop in Yuma County.
Oh yeah,
Jim fucking Cummings, man. He's so damn good. Are you familiar with Jim Cummings prior to this movie?
I feel I went and read his Wikipedia, and I feel like there was like one or two that I might have seen, but I just couldn't really like remember. And honestly, no.
So he's not only a really good actor. He's been in Late Night with the Devil. He was in.
That's one of the things.
And then he's been in a bunch of other movies. He's been in one of the Scream movies, like, but it's his directing that I really, really like. And his acting, but his directing in the movies prior to this is what got me interested. But he plays the leading man in here, and he doesn't even direct this movie. And it's just a very simple 90-minute thriller where they're all waiting for the next fuel truck in the middle of nowhere at a rest stop in Arizona, Yuma County. But imagine that. And a traveling young knife salesman is, thrust into a high-stake hostage situation with the arrival of two similarly stranded bank robbers. So it's just kind of a bunch of shitty people being trapped in one area for 90 minutes and how they get out of that. And it's just brings you back to kind of the Reservoir Dogs of old, just classic, just there's no good people, no good guys in the movie.
Dude, it really is. Have you ever seen Mick fucking busting chops? Yeah, I was like Jim Cummings, this guy, like I know I've seen him in something else, and it was just a bunch of stuff. He looks like he looks like this other actor that I thought but anyways, dude, have you ever seen U-Turn? With fucking it's kind of like there's some like a couple similarities with U-Turn and kind of like the tone and like the overall like results. It is one of those, like, it's just a gritty, nasty like crime movie where there's no real like good guys. Everyone like kind of has their own motivations and shit, and like it's messy. It's a fucking messy crime movie, man. And it was really fucking sick though, man. And honestly, I liked it so fucking much that I made The Last Stop in Yuma County my favorite crime movie.
Hey,
dude, I fucking, the crime thrillers are like my favorite genre of movie, and this one fits right in there, dude. It's like, for a good crime thriller for me, it has to be intense. It has to be gritty and grimy and messy, and this checks all those boxes. Like some intense shootouts, and like it's crazy, man. Like this is a great crime thriller, and again, it's just messy, and that's like the best kind of crime movie to me. So
I mean, it looks like a GTA. It looks like a GTA side mission, and it acts like a GTA side mission.
It is. It's just it's a fucking chaotic movie, and it's very like. It's only like an hour and a half, but it feels like every fucking minute of it in a good way. Like you feel like you're right there in the fucking predicament.
I agree.
Good shit, man. This movie is definitely a little gem. Okay, buddy. Well, we are getting to your favorite genre, I do believe, or one of them anyway. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I'll let you get the last word on it. So I will go ahead and kick off. I only got a couple, so let me. This is my honorable mention. We're gonna go to horror now, boys.
Yes.
But yeah, everyone, I definitely recommend anybody, if you like crime thrillers or anything like that, check out Last Stop in Yuma County. It's a good one. Yeah. In a very crowded genre too. Another one where it's like there's another kind of, but it's a fucking good one, man. It's a good one. All right, let me get the fucking setup. All right. All right, we're gonna go to horror. I only got two. I'll make this quick. So my honorable mention for best horror, dude. I love this subgenre of horror, man. I am a big fan of these kinds of horror movies. This kind of supernatural horror movie, possession and shit. This is a fucking good one too, man. It's another one where it's sort of kind of, I wouldn't call it like necessarily a genre blender, but it's got some comedy in it. It's got some other elements. Sorry, let me type this up real quick. So my honorable mention for best horror of the year is Late Night with the Devil. I heard Late Night with the Devil for me is my honorable mention. So I heard everyone go on and on about this fucking movie when it came out. Like, it was all over Twitter. Everyone just fucking talking about it. And I was like, can it be that fucking good? And it was, dude. It was fucking good. This is a great horror movie. Like I said, I love these kinds of movies. I don't want to get into it like it's kind of obvious. It's kind of like right there in front of you. But I love these kind of possession and like kind of like Faustian horror movies, dude. And it's a really fucking good one. And it's got the most important thing, which is the satisfying like reveal. The reveal of the dirty deed is so fucking good, and it really hits home. And I like the kind of spin they put on this genre, where it's like it doesn't take place in the normal setting that like possession movies do. There a lot of times they're in like a fucking church or at someone's house or something, but it's a fucking late night talk show, and I like the way they said it. It's like kind of a unique way to do it, and I really enjoyed it.
Yes, Faustian. And also my wife's favorite horror movie of the year.
I thought it was great, man. Dastmalchian.
Yeah, it's really, really good. David Dastmalchian, as you were saying.
He fucking kills it, man. This is a showcase performance for him, and he knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, he's been in so many like side or even a couple roles where he was the lead, but this is like really, I think, the one that should be the one that gets him on the map.
Yeah, Mickey, if you haven't seen Late Night with the Devil, it got hyped up, but it lives up to it, man. It's a fucking good supernatural horror movie.
It definitely is.
Dude, I keep saying this. I feel like I've said this like 12 fucking times already in under an hour, but my favorite horror movie was a blender, dude, and blender within the subgenres of horror. It was like a psychological horror, and again, some kind of like Faustian shit, and some supernatural elements, and really, this movie it was really good. I enjoyed it, and it also creeped me out, dude. It creeped me out, and it left me feeling uneasy, and like. It's like, yeah, I know this shit isn't real, but if it was, oh my God, it almost seems like something like that could happen. And it almost like makes the idea, like thinking about it, thinking about the idea and some of the implications or whatever, if you will, is very like unnerving. It features an incredible performance by your fucking boy, dude. My favorite horror movie of the year. And it was critically lauded, as it should have been, but dude, it really fucking stuck with me. Very disturbing and just a fucking great horror movie, dude. It was Longlegs for me.
Hell yes.
God, this movie fucking creeped me out, man.
Incredible.
Cage, he truly disappears and transforms into this role, and it is fucking disturbing.
Yeah, dude, this is absolutely lives up to all of the hype. Nicolas Cage, Michael Monroe are both incredible in this movie.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, it's nothing like Silence of the Lambs, but yet reminded me in some ways of it with how well it executes what it was trying to do.
Right.
And just, I mean, the less you saw of Nicolas Cage, the better until they finally do reveal it. But there's just so much good that comes with this movie. So.
Oh yeah, there's several scenes.
Direction, incredible. Yeah.
Several scenes where it's like his performance, obviously, and just the plot is really crazy. It is kind of like an onion as they slowly peel back the layers, like the horrible realizations just keep getting worse and worse and worse, and it's just like it is kind of a slow burn, and then it gives you it gives you a really good payoff, and it's fucking unnerving, man.
Yeah, and not that we're talking about it 2025 yet, but Osgood Perkins is coming out with another movie, The Monkey, in
oh shit,
another horror movie. So yeah, I think Nick Cage definitely freaks out a little bit.
Yeah, which time? Like
yeah.
in which no, dude, it is it's Cage in the best way, and like it seems like one of those where he just like he like disappeared into it, and he was able to just kind of play it how he wanted.
But he also
to.
is reserved at times in the role somehow. Like it's not just over the top the entire time. It's not one note.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
just
good
look
shit,
at that
man.
image. Just look at that image.
It's still I still like think about it, and it's like it's crazy. All right, man. Well, I'll let you take it over, Horror King.
Yeah. So horror, one of the things I still talk about on YouTube since MMA is not one of those things right now. And yeah, there's like 20 different movies I could pick, probably 25. But I picked 5 here. Mads is the first one. It's a Shudder original. It's a one-take movie about a dude who takes some drugs and then starts tripping out, and it's all in one take. It's really, really cool. Crazy where it goes. Next, it's my Avatar, The First Omen. Yeah, The First Omen didn't even win Best Horror. It's so my Avatar. This performance by Nigel Tiger Free right here as Sister Margaret is just incredible. The movie justifies its existence within the Omen universe, even though the way it ends is like a Marvel's Avenger film. Not good. It's like literally ends leading up to the original Omen, and I wanted to kind of cringe a little bit. Next, Longlegs. We just talked about it. It's my number 3 and my number 2 on this list because my number 1 horror movie is my best movie of the year, so I'm not talking about it yet. So my number 2, I'm going to give the title of the best horror movie because it also kind of deserves the love. Have you seen The Substance?
I did not get to see The Substance.
If you can check out The Substance at some point, it's worth a movie free trial to waste your 7 days with it. This movie is body horror to the nth degree. The performance by Demi Moore and Margot Qualley is incredible in this movie. Dennis Quaid playing Harvey Weinstein essentially is incredible in this movie. Carly Forget, who directed Titan, or not Titan, directed Revenge, which is one of my favorite French horror movies prior to this. Just it's oozing with style and substance. That fucking poster means so much more once you see the movie too. This movie lived up to the hype and then some. I love David Cronenberg. It's nothing like his body horror, but it is a different degree of body horror by a crazy French director. Awesome movie.
General, shout out to my dude, man.
And could definitely fit into the best sci-fi as well, but I wanted to talk about the Animal Kingdom.
Hell yeah, dude. And there was so many movies like that. And I feel like it's kind of just like a result of the oversaturation. The genre is kind of like bleeding into one another. And like, it's like,
dude, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I mean, dude, and it's resulting in some like, it's yielding some interesting results.
Yeah. I thought 2024 was an incredible year for movies though.
It was, I had seen so few. By the time I got done watching all these, I was like, yeah, this is a lot better. There were
you just got to dig. You got to dig a little bit, but it's there,
dude. Yeah, there was quite a few like more gems this year than I thought there would be. Good shit, man. Well, yeah, okay. Let me add The Substance to the list.
Yeah, Substance is great.
It looks crazy. All right, here we go.
And I'll just talk quickly about my best rewatch watch just for a second, because it doesn't really – these are just 2 movies that I rewatched this year. One of them just continues to be one of my favorite movies to just show people, so I always like to talk about it. It's The Gift, directed and starring Joel Edgerton, Jason Bateman, Rebecca Hall. This is just like one.
That's why I couldn't find it, because I was like, "There's a Gift that came out in 2015, but it can't be that," because it was like, okay, so that's
So it's the one with Joel Edgerton, Jason Bateman. Basically, fuck around and find out if you were a bully and never grew up, because you will eventually. Joel Edgerton's just too good. I love that movie. The ending of it, one of my favorite endings of this decade, the decade it came out in. Worst rewatch. This was sad. I rewatched The Jackal with Bruce Willis and Richard Gere.
Oh no, dude!
Not good, unfortunately. I've seen the original that it's based on for one now, and I've just grown up a little bit. So besides the scene with Jack Black in the gun, the rest of that movie can just kind of I literally went from like a 5-star movie in my head to a 2-star movie. So should have just kept in nostalgia. So they're just two, the highs and lows of the rewatch game.
Nice. I like it, dude. That makes a lot of sense because I was like, okay, I know there's the shit with Bruce Willis. That was like
Yep. And then
1997.
there was
Okay,
one
that
with
makes
Sam
sense.
Raimi. Yeah, no, where Katie Holmes. Yeah, no, not that one.
Willis with the blonde, the frosted tips and shit.
Yep. Crazy. And he's like wearing 10 different wigs in the movie.
Oh man,
Yeah, we don't talk about Bright in this house.
that's funny. All right, so all right, where are we at? Where are we at? All right, we're gonna move on to these genres are the best and worst of sort of surprises. Like we're gonna do the best surprise, the most pleasant surprise, and then the biggest disappointment.
Yeah.
And my friend, I will start with you. What was the most pleasant surprise for you of 2024 and the honorable mentions?
Yeah. So my honorable mentions, real quick. I will mention Red Rooms. Just came out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden it was completely on my radar. It's about a trial of a serial killer and gets a very graphic and freaks you out without ever showing you.
You said Red Rooms?
Red Rooms, yes. Okay. Very, very good, methodical, just disturbing kind of movie without ever showing you what's so disturbing. It's really weird how they do it. Exuma, my next movie on the list, I believe this is a South Korean horror movie. Netflix or Shutter exclusive, just really, really good. Has some crazy kind of incantation type of things and just like haunting sort of horror movie. Like again, came out of nowhere for me. The next
What's it called again? Sorry,
Exuma, which is EXHUMA, Exuma, and which is whatever language that is in. But yeah, it's just really creepy and weird. Next is YouTube movie you can find on YouTube right now. It's a little over an hour long, and it came out of nowhere. It's called Milk and Cereal. Milk and Cereal to me, just like I really, really like the found footage genre, and this guy Curry Barker, I think is going to have a real future in it. He comes from like the improvised comedy world, but a lot of times comedy and horror go hand in hand. And he made this movie on an $800 budget. And yeah, just really, really came out of nowhere, impressed me. Next is movie I saw in theaters a couple weeks ago, just kind of because it fit into my schedule with another movie I was seeing. So seeing on the back end of a double feature, and it's called Getaway with Nick Frost in it. And it's about him and his family going on holiday to Sweden.
Oh, dude, I saw the fucking trailer for that. I want to see that shit.
This fucking goes off the rails in a way I just was not prepared for, and it is absolutely hilarious. Should have won my best comedy, honestly, of the year too.
Okay, I like Nick Frost too. I'm adding that shit. Dude, he's the one that does the team ups with Peg.
Yeah, Getaway shocked me at how good it was. I just had no idea going into that. It was awesome. Highly recommend. And my winner, it's another found footage movie. So this is really an excuse for me to talk more about horror movies because those are where my best surprises always seem to come from. It's called Frogman. And Frogman sounds like it should be ridiculous or campy or weird, whatever. And yes, it is weird, but it's played.
You don't like weird movies.
It's played very, very straight. Reminds me a lot of, I mean, that poster, first of all, is a badass. And it reminds me a lot of Blair Witch Project. It's 80 minutes long, and there is a definite plan for this movie. I do not think it's the last we'll see. It's Croaks are not a hoax, or Croaks are no hoax. So it does have its tongue in its cheek while not looking at the fourth wall and breaking it. But it's about an amateur filmmaker struggling to turn his passion into a career, returns with his friends to Loveland, Ohio, the location of his first notorious sighting of the Frogman, determined to obtain irrefutable proof that this cryptoid legend exists. And so it's a little bit of like a Bigfoot type of story, but yeah, I just absolutely love this. I think it's the best found footage movie of the year. I had no idea a movie called Frogman could be good, let alone great. I think all three leads are really, really likable, which is a huge key with found footage movie because that's who you're stuck with for it. And the finale is absolutely insane and sets up for sequels in a very good way.
Okay. All right.
This movie rocks.
All right, I'll add it. I like the poster, and you sold me just enough on that, my friend. I'll add it to the list. I'll damn old add it to the list. Here we go. The ever-growing watch list. I think there's a couple of these that I can take off because I've done watched them. Frogman. Here we go. All right. So I had a couple movies that we talked about already that I could kind of put in honorable mentions for surprises. Furiosa, you could put in there. I was very pleasantly surprised by that. I know you didn't like Hitman. My expectations were super duper low, and I was pleasantly surprised by that. But I guess let me see. What did I actually this list here? Sorry, I'm getting my shit together. Take this down.
Frogman.
Hell yeah. Banners. Media assets is what they're calling it now instead of.
Ooh. Frogman will
branding.
surprise you though, man. I'm telling you, Frogman, like you'd hear that and be like, nope, I'm not gonna watch that, but you'd be surprised, motherfucker.
Watch it, stubborn Mick. I know you're stubborn and you're gonna say you're not going to. You're gonna be stubborn as a damn mule. We'll just watch it. Fuck yeah. So let me see. My honorable mention for best surprise. Yeah, I think I would probably say. Oh, no, this was my biggest surprise. And it was a movie that we've already mentioned, and that's what confused me. This was my biggest surprise. Because I saw this movie and I actually saw that it was getting good reviews, and it just looked like another I'll be honest with you, I saw this fucking poster for this movie and thought it was going to be like Reacher. I thought this movie was just going to be fucking Reacher. Just like big tough guy goes into towns and goes into town and shows all the crooked cops what's what. And it was sort of kind of like that, but it was in a much more realistic way. We did already mention this movie, but I'll just go ahead and talk about it a little more because it was just I thought it was really fucking good. And just another feather in the cap for this director, man. My best, most pleasant surprise of 2024 is Rebel Ridge. Yep. Aaron talked about this movie earlier, and yeah, man, it was another good Jeremy Saulnier movie where, kind of like Blue Ruin, it kind of brought everything back down to earth in like a plausible story. Where is like the setup might kind of look like it's going to be ridiculous, but the way it unfolds is in such like a I want to understated is not the right word, but it's in a plausible way, and it's like it's still intense, and like it puts you right in the perspective of Aaron Pierre and like what he's going through, and it's kind of like, what would you fucking do in this situation, and like it's I wouldn't call it a slow burn, but it kind of like builds and builds to like the action set pieces, and those are all executed really well. And it was just kind of a movie that I thought there were a few chances or a few times where it was like it could have really gone off the rails and gotten ridiculous, but it was just executed so fucking well, and the acting is good, and like it's just a good thriller, man, good crime thriller. And it was the movie. I went into it thinking like, oh god, this is just going to be another fucking like beat 'em up, righteous motherfucker lays down the law. But it was good, man. The movie was a lot smarter than I thought it was going to be, and yeah, kicked ass.
Yeah, no. The only reason it wouldn't be on my surprise is because I was Jeremy Saulnier.
Right, fair enough. Yeah, he doesn't make shitty movies, man. Like he really doesn't. Yeah, I've enjoyed, at the very least, like almost every single one of his fucking movies.
Absolutely.
So yeah, everyone, at Rebel Ridge, it's easy to watch on Netflix. And it's a good one, man, if you're just looking for a refreshing, like sort of like crime action sort of thriller.
Yep. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, we can't talk about it enough. I agree.
Yeah. What up, Reed? You already know, dude. I got some Melonade actually. So cheers. It's Friday night here with Aaron the dog talking 2024 movies, what we consider some of the best and worst of the year. Oh yeah, you got that right.
Oh yeah.
You're damn right.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about the best, the most pleasant surprises. How about the ones that we thought were going to be good, but just fucking dropped a big stinky ass fucking deuce? The ones that just shit all over the bed sheets, man. What were some of your biggest disappointments of the year? And cap it off with your biggest.
Honestly, like I only put one down for my biggest disappointment, but that doesn't mean that I don't agree that there were many, many disappointments this year. And so my biggest, unfortunately, I didn't want to focus on I didn't want to focus on the negative as much. So I tried to focus on the positive, first here. And I didn't put my worst here because I've had some bad movies, but I went into them kind of expecting them to be bad. My biggest disappointment of the year, though, there's a few honorable mentions. Street Trash. That's a remake of a movie that I wanted to like. No one saw it, though, so no one really cares that I was disappointed by Street Trash. Like the Saturday Night Live movie, I wasn't really expecting to like it, but it was even worse than I was expecting it to be. So that was like kind of a bummer. But yeah, I'll just go right to.
Well, I definitely want to put these out there for the people so they can maybe avoid some.
Those two I definitely put out there, and I'll talk about when we get to the worst movies, the worst movie of the year.
Okay, so you said Saturday Night.
Let me get the exact title of the Saturday Night. I think it's called Saturday Night Live. Like literally, they're that lazy with it.
Okay.
And then Street Trash.
Street Trash.
Do not see the remake of Street Trash. Please don't go to that. No. What a disappointment. I know, believe it or not, a movie called Street Trash sucked, but the original was kind of good. But my biggest disappointment of 2024 by a pretty wide margin is the Bob Marley One Love movie.
No.
Yes, unfortunately. Yeah, man. This movie was a bummer.
Dang, dude. We can't get together and feel all right, dude.
No. Even that poster, it's just like, come on, man.
Dude, we're not jamming.
We're not.
Bumbleclot, dude. It wasn't good, dude. Fucking Rossclot, dog.
Like it was not. No good.
God, dude.
Well, it wasn't the worst movie of the year, but that's how I should be saying about Bob Marley biopic.
Dang.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt leaving. I was just like, oh, I love Bob Marley.
I still like Bob Marley and his music.
I still like Bob Marley and his music. So it didn't ruin that. There's that. But
that's unfortunate. Well, thank you for sparing me that pain because I was kind of that disappoints me, dude. Because I was kind of like, oh man, maybe this is all right. Like,
maybe they'll try again in like 5 or 10 years when they're like, that wasn't it.
Dang.
Like, yeah.
What was the what was that movie called? It was the NWA biopic that was actually sort of kind of decent.
Yeah, Straight Outta Compton.
Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, much better than this. This was shit.
That's what I was hoping this was going to be. I was like, well, they did that well. Like,
no, no, not quite. Just swing and a miss.
Dang. Well, this one, man, this is one I should have known, and so I blame myself for this. This is probably the most obvious like disappointment for someone that has like read comics since I was a kid and like I've been through the whole experience with the fucking comic book movies, and maybe that's what it was because me and my friends used to talk about the possibilities that this movie could have been and should have been. And I saw the trailer for it, and I got all fucking pumped up like some dumbass. And I should have known. I should have fucking known that it was gonna be just like. I'll just go ahead and like say just so we can talk about it. My biggest disappointment of the year was fucking Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oof.
And I should have known. I should not have had any kind of expectations for this steaming pile of fucking diarrhea. It's a pool. It's not a pile. It's a pool of diarrhea.
Yes.
It's like it's gotten to the point, dude, where like they are trying to be subversive, and it's still coming out like studio mush.
Yep.
Like they can't even like. I couldn't, man. I couldn't. Like I finished it, but it was like I had seen so many iterations of it. It was just jumping the shark doesn't even fucking cut it. And it's not like it was a gigantic piece of shit, but it was just like it was like throw up, dude. It was just like superhero throw up. And I'm sick of Ryan Reynolds. I'm like they leaned way too much into the like they think this guy's a stand-up comedian. And I've never like I can handle Reynolds in doses. I actually really like the first and second. I like both Deadpool 1 and 2. I think they both fucking rock. And again, maybe that's what it was. Maybe I was just like, oh man, I love Jackman as Wolverine. They're finally bringing the fucking yellow and blue costume that they should have fucking had the whole time. Sure. They're even trying to like joke about that and like drop these like Easter eggs for it. And it's like, dude, even that is played out. Even like, it's just this movie came along like 5 years too late. They tried to like throw in I'm just over the fourth wall and the multiverse. They even try and like act like they're in on that and that's subversive. And it's like, no, you're a part of it. It's just, it represents everything that's wrong with superhero movies. And it's unfortunate that this was like one of the last kind of like franchises where it's like, oh, it's Deadpool. They're making them rated R. They're a little more violent. Like, and that's what I liked about the first two. And they couldn't fucking help themselves, man. They couldn't get their hand out of the fucking cookie jar, and they just made it into like every other fucking. It's basically like a rated R MCU movie, and it's so fucking mid. It is the middiest mid that is ever fucking mid-road. It's the most mid-notch fucking like 3 out of 5 at best, dude. More like 2, and it's 2.5 out of 5 for me, man. I think I might even rated it lower than that because I was so pissed off about how like it should have been so much fucking better. But I'm done with that shit. I'm done with the MCU and everything MCU and MCU adjacent. I'm done with it.
Yeah, I mean, like the fact that Hugh Jackman came back from Logan for this. Hi, John. Shout out to John. That's John.
What up?
Coming in live here, but good to see you, John. John loved Deadpool and Wolverine and hated Twisters, so go figure. But no! Yeah, he just, we can't all be right. But you know, Hugh Jackman was good.
Aaron hated Hitman. I loved it.
Yeah, exactly. But why he came back from Logan for this is kind of ridiculous to me. To get sick of Ryan Reynolds, it would imply that I was originally unsick of Ryan Reynolds, so that I don't want to put that out there at all. Ryan Reynolds was never my friend.
I went on a roller coaster with him, dude. Like I hated him like with the Van Wilder thing, and then he started to grow on me, and I was
waiting
like,
was
all right.
Fine, everybody.
Waiting is fine. Waiting is fine.
Yeah, but like honestly. Yeah, John, that is definitely John. That was my test. I brought up Twisters and he responded. John hates Twisters so much. It's so funny.
Shout out to John, man. Shout out to John and Why We Love Horror, dude. Good to see you in the chat, man.
He was so mad that people in Oklahoma were stupid in Twisters. It really offended him. But you know,
Okies is stupid, dude. That's the damnedest thing I've ever heard before.
But Deadpool 3, as I call it, I don't do the respect of giving it its full name. Yeah, man, I'm glad some people had, but I pretty much said the same thing as you. Like, my time with these movies has come to an end. It long has come to an end. That's no news for me. And this movie looked like shit also. And no, I'm not like a film major, but it just looked bad. It looked like
it's not the worst movie of the year for me. And I don't hate it. It's just, it's like, it's since it's, what is it, man? I'm so desensitized to all the superhero shit.
It would be my biggest disappointment if I had expectations, but I don't.
Fair enough. Okay. Now that I got that out of my fucking system, let us
Stay negative for a little longer.
Yeah, we're talking disappointments. Let's go even further into the hole. Let's get even worse, dude.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
talk about the lowest of the low, the most vile, the most repulsive, repugnant refuse that fucking spewed itself out in 2024. Let's go with the worst. Let's go with the worst of the worst. Can you throw out some of your honorable mentions for just the fucking dog shit of this year?
I mean, you got it. And I just want to tease right off the bat my worst of the year. If you go over to Why We Love Horror, I have a rant on my worst of the year already. I think it's about 11 minutes of me talking to myself. Literally, no one else is on the screen. It's just me talking to myself about my worst of the year. But yeah, 2024, as much as I enjoyed it, sometimes, the old A-list will biteth the hand that it giveth. So few of my worst of the year. One of them, it's from early in the year, and I've just not been able to shake this damn movie. Night Swim. Goddamn Night Swim. Fuck you.
I've heard you bitch about Night Swim a couple times this year.
Wyatt goddamn Russell. It's just so bad. It's one of those movies where it has the audacity to assume it's getting sequels throughout it. I'm just like, don't do
How
that.
dare it, dude?
Don't do that. Don't do that haunted pool movie. It's about a haunted pool, for God's sakes. So how good it could be. The next, another movie I got to review.
Dude, does anyone almost make it out of the pool before they get dragged down to their eventual death? Dude, does that ever happen?
Yes, it happens. That's the entire movie.
That's crazy.
You won't believe it, but the main characters all make it out. But next, another movie I had to review on Why We Love Horror, and I maybe am one of the biggest haters of this movie. It could also easily be my biggest disappointment. Alien fucking Romulus. Pile of dog shit.
I'll join. Cheers, brother. Yeah, dude, I'll second that.
I am a real Alien fan, so I'm sorry. I fight for the rights of every man. But it's just there's a part where I don't care if I spoil it. There's a part where the android goes, "Get away from her, you bitch," and then looks at the camera. I'm like, cool. There's horrible deep fake with Ian Holm in the movie. So I hope Ian Holm's family got fed well. There's no reason David is right there, or just make another one, whatever you want to do. There's the complete ripoff of Alien Resurrection with the he-she character.
Dude, they rip off almost like it. They just talk it's like everything. It's a love letter. It's a bastardization. That's correct. What it is.
It's a bad cover song with a video game-like plot where it's I feel like that for each scene, they should have been level 3. Would you like to save? It's just, and then, Kaylee Spaney.
Just do a pop-up video where you're like, hey, this is the movie that this one is referencing. Does this remind you of Aliens at all when this fucking happens? It's like, God damn.
I was like, it sure does. I sure do. Yes. I like those movies. And there was that terrible character, that terrible dude who just kept making the worst decisions. Isabel Merced has nothing to do in the movie except be pregnant and in pain, which is sad. Free Mewtwo. This movie, people kept trying to pretend they liked it when it came out too. I was like, no, we didn't.
Stop it.
I was like, am I the only one who's fucking
just Arnold Schwarzenegger? Stop it.
Straight up chew out a fucking. Please finish the David trilogy, because Prometheus and Covenant were fucking great. So just go back to David. And my last
David and his little manipulations, his sneaky little
they
play a trick.
Yeah, he played a little trick. And I'm sorry that you can't pay attention. You'll never get this. My last honorable mention. I had a great time on a bro date with Mr. John Marr to see this movie on opening weekend. It's Kraven the Hunter. Terrible fucking movie. Yes, but God, is it fun to fucking yell. It's so fun to yell at the screen. If you didn't see this opening weekend, you don't need to see this, everybody. You can skip
Kraven.
it. Christopher Abbott pops up, and Christopher Abbott's one of my favorite actors in Hollywood, so there's that. But Alexander Nivola, also known as Joy's brother, pops up in the movie as the Rhino. Russell Crowe has an accent.
Are there any bad Russian accents in this movie at all?
There's only a few. No actual Russians, so there's that. And then Ariana DeBose is in this movie, and she's coming off of a fucking Oscar, and she comes into this movie and like she's got to return that Oscar for sure. Like she can't act.
You know, actors need money too, Aaron. You know, they have expensive lifestyles that they
I
live, and
really hope
they have to support that.
Yeah, JC Chandor, who has gone from making A Most Violent Year with Jessica Chastain and Oscar Isaac to Triple Frontier to fucking Craven the Hunter.
How the mighty have fallen, boys. That is a steep decline. That's like the southeastern face of Lotes, dude. It's just like unclimbable. That's
money makes people funny. Yet all these movies are not worse than the worst movie of this year. And guess what? It's a sequel, everybody.
Oh my God, for this.
It's a terrible sequel with a terrible title.
I already have a
terrible plot.
You're about to piss me off. Go ahead.
And it is they took a Netflix series and they condensed it into a hour, 105 minutes, which yes, it's under 2 hours. It felt like it was 4 hours. Beetlejuice is the worst movie of the year.
How dare you? How dare you?
This movie is so not funny. And it also features like constant mentions of a pedophile who is not in the movie and Jeffrey Jones. So instead of just like moving on from Jeffrey Jones, they like keep bringing his picture up and showing him throughout the movie.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It was weird. It was uncomfortable. I loved Beetlejuice. I didn't love it. I liked Beetlejuice. Let me slow down. I liked Beetlejuice. So I didn't come into this movie.
No, you love Beetlejuice. You said it the first time, and that's what
I take. I misspoke. I misspoke. I like Beetlejuice. It all makes the more point of like I'm not like protecting my precious here, but this movie just didn't work, man.
No, I am, and that's why I'm pushing back on this fucking blasphemy.
Like it's just like they had a good idea with the Lydia storyline and like everything like that, but they tried to add 25 different storylines. Justin Theroux's character of being like this obvious douchebag was like the stupidest, like just like hurry up, please. And I saw where it was going from the beginning. Monica Bellucci's forgotten about for the entire movie. She's hot, so there's that. Congratulations, Tim Burton. I know you love her. Good job. There's that. But like there's a little bit of practical effects, but most of it doesn't look that good to me. Michael Keaton is tired. He's tired, boss.
He old, though.
He Beetlejuice is old aging. Beetlejuice is about to die again. Right. It's just the magic ain't there anymore. And Jenna Ortega is fine as Wednesday.
Dude, you know what's crazy is like
how old is Astrid supposed to be in this movie?
Dude, it's like as much as they can do with effects now and like de-aging and shit, why didn't they do that just a little bit with Keaton? They still could have made him look like heinous and shit, but it's like D is like God. You're right.
Old.
He looked old. So I'll say this: I'll meet you halfway across the sky. I'll meet you halfway here. This probably should have been in like most disappointing for me, but I didn't really. My expectations were like they were in the toilet, man. So it's like
I wasn't expecting.
It was.
It's the worst.
So for me, it wasn't the worst of the year. And I'm a huge Beetlejuice. Like the first Beetlejuice is like I hold that very high. Like, dude, that almost made my top 100 movie. Like it just barely. And and I'll just go ahead and say this now live. If you ever do want to, if you do get a wild hair at any point in time in the future, and you want to do another like the 50 that didn't make it or whatever, or like a 200 even, because I mean. I like a lot more movies than fucking 100. I can tell you that. But so yeah, man. I just while I was thinking about it. But yeah, man. I would say it was pretty disappointing. I won't call it that fucking worst. God, but I get it. It was not good. It's not good.
Yeah, it's my. I did not. This and Craven are like so close. So like, if you want them to share the mantle, they can. But yeah, this movie made me mad. I really didn't like it.
I get it. But I'll say this, dude. I don't think it holds a candle to what I consider the worst movie of the year. And a movie I forgot to talk about this is my honorable mention that I forgot to mention for most disappointing. And probably I don't know if I can say it's the worst, but it was really disappointing. I forgot to say it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. The Beekeeper, man. Like,
Beekeeper was fun,
dude. I heard people say that. I heard a lot of people say that. That it was good. Like it's a good Jason Statham. Like I couldn't even finish it, man. I just like I was just really it was the hat, dude. It was the fact that he was wearing that fucking hat the whole time and it never moved, and like it just got ludicrous. Like a fucking like a society of beekeepers. Like what? I mean, I get it, but like that was it was ludicrous to me. So that was disappointing to me. But again, I can't quite call it the worst. I probably should have
that almost made my surprise.
I probably should have finished it, but like it was, I was a little bummed about that because it got hyped up, dude. My dad and my uncle were both like, my uncle was talking about how he loved it, and so, but yeah, so you're not alone, man. You're not alone in that. Maybe it's just me. So my worst movie though, and this is another movie I could not finish. This movie is so objectively horrific. It's offensive. This movie's fucking offensive. And I'm not like someone that says that. I'm not a fucking like pearl clutcher. Like I have a fucking potty mouth and like whatever, dude. This movie is fucking offensive. This like blaxploitation doesn't even like cut it. Like this movie is like straight up racist towards black people. And like this movie is so fucking bad. Like everyone involved in this movie should be ashamed of themselves. Especially the ones that were at one point considered serious actors, because this movie is a fucking God, it's bad.
Irresponsible.
This is the worst movie of the year in my opinion, and I don't see how. Like, yeah, I didn't think Beetlejuice was that great, but it don't hold a candle to fucking Not Another Church movie.
What the fuck is this?
Look at that shit. This is not an altered image. This is not, what you're seeing up there is really Jamie Foxx and Mickey Rourke. Now, Mickey Rourke, I get it. He probably needs a paycheck for real, but Jamie Foxx, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Oh my God.
You ought to be fucking ashamed of yourself.
That Tyler the Creator in the middle?
No. So this movie makes a point of the fact that it is not a Tyler Perry movie. They try and like reference that. I think like the character's movie is named like Taylor Ferry or something with what PA. But dude, this is a fucking,
that's awful.
This is horrific. This is not even like so bad it's good. Like Jamie Foxx plays God. Mickey Rourke, like I said, you would expect him to be in like a direct to release like thing like this where it's like he just needs a check, but it's like Jamie Foxx, dude. Come on, man. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, dude. So yeah, this is I guess I'll just go ahead and give the director credit. This is a Johnny Mac joint, and that's Kevin Daniels in the middle, who's like a bit actor. He's been in some like stuff, and he was like a stage actor or whatever. But like dude, you ought to be ashamed of yourself too, man. Like I don't even know what to say. This is the worst movie. This is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and absolutely the worst movie.
I've never even heard of this film.
I wish I hadn't, because my whole point watching it, I was like, I'm gonna see if I can get through this. I was like, because I even like looked. I went on an article and I was like, what are some of the worst movies of the year? And I was like, no, dude, it can't be that bad. I couldn't finish it.
I mean, Jesus Christ. That's a crazy looking, horrible looking movie.
Dude, it's offensive. Yeah. Like I was like, dude, secondhand embarrassment, third-hand embarrassment. I just yikes. Yeah. So let's now that that's out of the way, it can't get any worse than that. It can only go uphill from there. So yeah, I just thought I would spare everyone from that. Not that anyone was going to be like, clamoring. No one's going to be climbing over another human being to go see that movie.
No, not exactly.
I agree. So I want to apologize for letting everyone else know that movie existed and wasting everyone's time talking about it. So let's move forward amicably here. I will let you have the last word with the best of the year, and I'll just go ahead and throw mine out there. And I will say that Mick has already talked about this movie earlier in the chat, and what he said made me fucking furious. It made me brimming with furious anger. And I wanted to jump through the fucking screen and strangle his fucking Irish ass to death. I'm just kidding, of course. But nah, man, this movie covers a couple of the best of the year for me. It's gonna win some Oscars. It might win Picture of the Year, but it is certainly going to be nominated. To me, this was not only the best sci-fi movie of the year, but it was the best movie of the year to me. Some people will roll their eyes. Mick can't stand it, but you know what? I don't really give a good goddamn. I thought this movie was incredible. And anyone that has anything to say about it, I will fist fight you to the death. I'm just kidding, of course. But nah, man, my honorable mentions, we've already talked about some of them. Furiosa would be an honorable mention for me. I would throw Rebel Ridge is up there. Just movies that I really, really liked. Conclave would be probably up there, like if I did a 2 cents, like Oscars or whatever. But this movie, it was too epic, dude. The scope was too big. It was too impressive of an achievement. And some of the acting was really, really fucking good. And it's just too crazy, man. It's too sweeping. And I mean, you probably know what the fuck I'm talking about at this point already. My favorite movie of the year, I think the best movie of the year, the best sci-fi movie of the year, and best in general is fucking Dune Part 2.
Yep. Yeah, this is a movie that I enjoy for sure, but I know that the people who love it. So take it away.
For sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking like. I'm not gonna force it down anyone's throat. Like you know what it is. It's been forced down people's throats enough. And I get it. The people that are like, this is a little overrated, and I certainly would never try and like push it on anyone. It's like to be fair, my one of my best friends, dude, was really into Dune, and he's been telling me about how good the books were, how good the old movie, like old movie is like the Lynch movie. It is what it is, man. I like it because I like Dune, and I haven't read the whole fucking books, but I know pretty much the story more or less. And like I like the 84 Lynch movie. The 2000 miniseries is fucking dog shit. But dude, Denis V, I mean, even if it's not your shit, it's the cinematography and the visuals are incredible, dude. Like they really are. Some of the detail, even just some of the little shit, like the anti-gravity packs on the fucking soldiers, like the Harkonnen soldiers when they're like drifting up to the top of that cliff or whatever. Just like some of the little things, man. And I'm a big fan of the whole saga and all that shit, so I'll just leave it there. But yeah, this movie fucking rocks. I like this a lot better than the first part, actually. I thought it was a more complete, like, obviously it wraps things up with the Atreides like saga for the most part, but I thought the addition of Fade Routha, I thought he was one of the strongest characters in it. I thought Austin Butler fucking killed it, dude. If he's not at least nominated for Best Supporting Actor, I'll be upset, man. He knocked it out of the park. Dude, Skarsgård was really good too, man. He wasn't in it for like a ton, but everyone does a really good job in it. Chalamet's fine. He is what he is. But just this movie was like some of the way they depicted some of the lore and some of the crazy shit that happens was just incredible. Big fan. My favorite movie of the year, and I'll leave it at that. I'll get down off my soapbox, and I'll let Aaron take it away.
Yeah, I liked it. I saw it in Dolby. Saw it. It was good, but
that's how to see it. It's if you're
just not for me. But my best of the year definitely is not for everybody, and I totally acknowledge that. But for me, I don't know, like, if a movie's hit me much harder in the last probably maybe 3 to 4 years than this movie, and I don't even like. I've been able to put together some of the reasons that why I think it has kind of hit me the way it has, but not completely. And I feel like this movie just kind of can hit on so many different layers, but it's called I Saw the TV Glow. It's an A24 horror, PG-13 horror movie at that. But yeah,
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, this movie gets just to some extremely dark points about just kind of every aspect of kind of life and losing yourself, losing your identity in so many ways that really applies. I think it's been oversimplified a lot of times. So because the director is is a transgendered person. I think it's gotten broken down into just the transgender horror movie,
Right.
but it's about much more than that, for sure. And that's definitely an aspect of it that you can take from it. But yeah, just about kind of friendship, duty, loss, just like kind of everything. I went in with huge expectations of this movie, and like I say this a little too often, maybe, but this movie really did feel like a mushroom trip with where it takes you, with regards to just there's a certain point
It's
in the movie.
trippy for sure, dude. It's a fucking trippy ass movie.
Yeah, and it's horrifying seeing what happens to the main character as
Yeah, like a bad trip, dude. Like when it starts to go sideways.
Yeah, and it's just like there's just parts of the movie where the person is yelling for help and no one around them even acknowledges the noise. And it's just like when you've been there and you just can really relate it, just comes from a very authentic, genuine source. It's been a movie I've been afraid to rewatch because I was like, I was a wreck by the end of it. I didn't know why. It was just really intense. I think the monologue that happens towards the end of the movie by Bridget Lundy Payne, who's also, just amazing in the movie. Justice Smith as Owen. I think Jane Schoenbrunn is an absolute talent. I can't wait to see what they do next. But yeah, this movie's soundtrack is just beautiful. The message behind the movie, the conclusion that the movie comes to is haunting.
Dude, the ending of this movie will stick with you, man. The ending of this movie is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's just really overstated when you're like, this will stay with me. It sounds so cliche. It sounds so, but I mean, this movie, like, it definitely is one of those movies that I think changed me from like a pretty guttural level. I saw it back in May, and I haven't really stopped thinking or talking about it.
Dude, spoiler alert, they don't wrap it up nice and neat. It's a one of those where it's like, holy shit, like what the fuck? Like I watched this movie, dude, and I'll go ahead and say I liked it. I did like it. I obviously like I don't have it as highly as you do, but I don't have anything bad to say about it. Like it was a good trip, dude. That's a hard PG-13, dude. Like there is some fucking subject matter in this where it's like, God, that don't 13-year-old kid see shit.
Right. And like when you finally see that shot of the street with the rating of There's Still Time over it.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I lost it. Just lost it. I melted in my seat. It was just like it was such a relief to see that. And I just think of all the people like who are gonna see this and it's gonna help. And it's just like it is just one of like those movies that is endless, just so important to the people it's important to. And at another point in my life I really maybe would have needed a lot of the things this movie was saying more, but I can still empathize with all the people who are going to see this movie in so many different ways and respond to the messages that are being shouted from the rooftops, like calls out a warning, like this is such a warning. And for some people the message and the warning is going to come too late, and they'll either not see or refuse to look at that message that comes to this movie, or see it and be as scared as the characters in the movie. And it's just like, yeah, there's just so many parts of this movie I think about all the time.
Oh yeah, you can watch this movie on a surface level. You can watch and you can get as deep as you want with it. And so I feel like it works on a few different levels.
Yeah, and I think that if I saw this movie again, I don't think it'd be as ambiguous, a lot of it to me. I think I'd be able to maybe put more of it together. And I don't know if I really want that, to be honest. Like I actually like the ambiguity that I get to live with from the first watch of this that I think would be kind of solved in a way with the second watch. Fred Durst in this movie, as John mentioned, is incredible, like a perfect role for him, and he's unrecognizable. And I do think it's intentional with how nostalgia and how, how we replace that with actual connections in our life. I think that was intentional, that, and just, yeah, man, that image of just Owen in front of the screen, the TV glowing, like it's haunting. And, it's haunting for me because I really honestly, I see my brother in this movie a lot. And it's just funny because when I talked to him about the movie, he like missed the entire point of like completely tying yourself into nostalgia and the things we watch, and not he like completely missed the point of that, which
Right.
is all the more reason why it's like hard for me to watch this movie, because like I know personally there's one person who needs to pay attention to the messages of this movie who missed the entire point of it and continues to, and it's holding him back. And like it's like watching a real Owen in my own life, and it sucks to see. And I think that's part of what makes me so like shocked there's a movie like this out there, because like, you know, like going into it, I was like, how much could I really relate and respond to a trans horror movie? And it's just like, even I thought that, like, and like it's so much more than that, and anybody
It is. It's really about
identity,
you're identifying with your true self, like
right?
and
Whatever that is.
reconciling that with your childhood, and like those are big fucking issues, man. Like those are big. That's very heavy subject matter.
Yeah, this movie is like, it gets overstated, but this movie is very therapeutic.
For sure, man. For sure.
So yeah, and the soundtrack, as John said, absolutely a top tier soundtrack,
Dude. And like I went into this movie being like, oh god, this is this fucking like gay ass trans fucking horror movie. That's all I fucking heard about it. Like, what is this fucking shit? And I was like, I could have put this on one of my most pleasant surprises. Like I was expecting to just be like, oh god, what is this fucking metaphor? I'm trans and didn't know it. What is my life? But it was like, nah, it was fucking good, man. It was a good movie.
Yeah, and like some people will get bothered by like the deliberate like cadence of the dialogue, but it plays a purpose.
Whatever.
It's a purpose, and it's an artistic choice that ends up really working to the effect of the movie as it goes.
Yeah,
like this movie is just like I'm
very, very, dude. I cannot. I'm still like, because I didn't think about it when I was watching it, but like going back and thinking about it, that's PG-13. Like, good God Almighty,
like Mr. Melancholy, one of the greatest villains of the year.
Yeah, take your 12-year-old to see that.
If you don't get this movie, I'm happy for you, because it means you're a much happier soul than I am.
Yeah, you tortured fuck.
Yeah, fuck.
But hey, one sympathizes, brother. So that's why we're friends. Okay, well, that will do it for the 2024 movie. So just a brief recap, since we took all the time to go through this.
Almost 2 hours. So shout out to anybody who's stayed with us. Thank you, John, Moise, Mick. Yeah, shout out to you guys.
Good shit, man. So your favorite drama, Sing Sing.
Yep.
Conclave for me. Then we went to Comedy, Kinds of Kindness. Me and Aaron disagreed here, but it was Hitman for me. Aaron really dug Monkey Man as far as badass action movies. I agree. Furiosa for me. I'm gonna check this one out, man. The Animal Kingdom, of the ones that you brought up, this is one of the ones that I'm anticipating. I'm gonna get real fucking stoned to watch Animal Kingdom and just get out there, dude. This is a fucking badass movie. We actually both agreed on this one. Last Stop in Una County. If you like crime thrillers and just entertaining, it's just a fucking entertaining movie. It's an hour and a half, man. This movie
Richard Brake, like so many good characters.
Dude, Brake, he is such a fucking good bad guy, man. And he's not a lot of people. I mean, this show isn't for everybody, but he's really good in Mayor of Kingstown too. He plays a really fucking good bad guy in that show. It's a good show. I like it. Not for everybody though. Long Legs. That was an honorable mention for Aaron. That was my that movie fucking creeps me out. It's so good. I gotta check this out. The Substance
is my second best horror movie, because I would put TV Glow number 1, but this also deserves love.
Fuck yeah. Rebel Ridge appeared on both our lists in various categories. Just fucking, this is a very refreshing sort of like revenge thriller is what I would call it. Like it's fucking sick, man. Dude, another banger from Jeremy Saulnier. Just a very underappreciated director. I gotta check this one out too. I put this on the list. Frogman was Aaron's most pleasant surprise of 2024. His biggest disappointment was One Love, One Heart. There were not 3 little birds singing in the morning. I thought this was just God, I wanted this to be better. I wanted this to be so much fucking better, but it just won't. According to this guy, fucking Beetlejuice is the worst thing he's ever seen, but I'll raise you a fucking not another church.
It's not a movie.
Dune 2 was the cream of the crop for me, and as you just heard, Aaron is going with I Saw the TV Glow, which is a great horror movie, man. And coming of age movie as well. Dude, good shit. Now, we're not done yet, boys. We're not quite done yet.
No.
We're gonna talk about, because the movies, they just don't fucking stop, do they?
No, never. We're not done with this year yet, really, because Nosferatu could.
Oh yeah, just took the words right out of my mouth. I'll kick this one off. This movie is coming out Christmas Day. And look at that shit, dude. Eggers is not going to fuck this up, and it's already getting good reviews. So I already know that he hasn't fucked this up. Oh my god, dude, this looks. They did the trailers. They put out a true teaser trailer. They don't even show fucking Orlok in the trailer. Like, dude, this movie looks so fucking good. I cannot wait to see this motherfucker.
Yeah, man, this could be my best horror movie of the year by the end of it. Who knows? Like, we're hopefully seeing this on Christmas night. Christmas is just stacked with movies in general. The movies that are coming out on Christmas, between this, A Complete Unknown, Baby Girl, like the new Nicole Kidman joint coming out on Christmas. All three of those, incredible. But yeah, Nosferatu, I agree. I can't wait for this, man. Robert Eggers can do no wrong.
Dude, he really can. Like, again, even at the movies, like, even that aren't my cup of tea, I can watch it and be like, you know what? That's a fucking good movie. It might not be my favorite, but it's like
his career has been culminating to this.
It does, and it feels like something that he really made sure that he was like careful to do a good job and be faithful. Because that's another thing. It's like early reviews are saying that it stays faithful to the source material, and Daddy likes to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how about you, sir? What is the movie that's just you cannot wait to see the most, other than Nosferatu?
Yeah, other than Nosferatu, which definitely is up there on the list. My phone just died, but I definitely do remember that I'm always looking forward to the next Saw movie. I don't know if that's actually coming out next year, so I don't want to jinx that. I don't know if it ever will come out, but.
I got an overlay.
I gotta have Saw 11 out there, and then my boy David Cronenberg coming out with The Shrouds next year. If The Shrouds does come out, those are my two most anticipated movies, and they'll always be my most anticipated movies. Vincent Cassel is one of my favorite actors on the planet. The Shrouds,
dude. I loved him in Eastern Promises. He's good in everything.
Lane. I mean, even on Westworld, he was great. And this movie being about David Cronenberg after he lost his wife, I can't kind of imagine.
Oh my god, dude! And it's going to be body horror. Holy shit!
Yeah, so just anytime David Cronenberg has a movie, it's top of my list. So those are two. I try not to look super forward to the list like next year, because I try not to watch trailers or look too far into things and let everything just kind of come as it goes. So yeah, give me The Shrouds. 2025, I hope, is going to be as strong as 2024. I feel like 2024 was an excellent year, though, in film.
I do have a couple other ones that you put on the list, and I have them. I've made overlay for them.
Sinners, I know, is one.
Sinners, yep.
Which is the new Michael B. Jordan joint with Ryan Coogler, like Black Vampires.
Dude, Coogler as another dude that can. The Coogler,
Michael Coogler was trying to make Blade for so long, they finally said, I'll go make Blade on my own. Fuck y'all.
Dude, if anyone hasn't seen Fruitvale Station and you want a heavy-hitting tearjerker, like good fucking drama movie, oh, man. Coogler is a fucking
absolute banger. Mickey 17 is another one. The newest Bong Joon-ho joint. Looks weird as shit. Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. It looks crazy.
That looks great. And is there anything else on my list?
Those are the ones I have for you. Saw The Shroud, Sinners, Mickey 17.
Yep, and those are a few of my
there is one more that I myself am very much anticipating, and I know that I just spent a lot of time, well, not a lot of time, but I know I just mentioned very verbatim that I was getting sick of the fucking superhero genre and its oversaturation and it's just like jumping of the shark. But there is a movie coming out in 2025 that looks like it's starting to bring it back a little bit to the roots, back to what got it to the dance, and it is being helmed by a director that has made some of the best of them. And this trailer, boys, woo, this trailer got me, oh my God, it's got me emotional, dude. I am fucking pumped for Superman. I don't give a fuck what anyone says, dude.
Superman has arrived. The Jewish Superman.
Super Jew is coming in 2025.
Dude, David Corn Sweat, the chosen one. Yeah, no, I'm excited about this. As much as I like to make fun of my superhero movies at this point,
Gunn, at the very least, always makes a cool looking superhero movie.
And I've loved all the Guardians movies. I think you borrow some of those sensibilities, bring them over, not all of them, but yeah, man. If this sucks, though, we're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I know. It's good. The party will be over, boys. Gunn has been one of the stalwarts of this genre that is like anytime he takes control of a franchise, he usually does a good job with it. So I do feel confident in that. This movie looks like it has a heart, which is like I feel like was kind of the core of why Guardians of the Galaxy was so good. Like it did have a heart and soul to it. It looks like this does too. It looks like they're doing Superman right. Like it looks like they're showing the guy with the just doing the right fucking thing, even when everyone else, what I'm saying, like that it's cheesy, but it's like it looks like it is going to have a heart and soul and looks like it's gonna be pretty fucking good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, man. We'll see if this goes on.
Fingers crossed, baby. Come on, dude.
This has high potential to go on most disappointed list if it sucks.
Seriously, man. Seriously. But yeah, if anyone hasn't seen the trailer for the teaser for Superman, it's pretty fucking good, man. But yeah. I would be remiss if I did not bring this one into mention. Now, there are two movies so far in this franchise. The first one was incredible. The second one was pretty good. Pretty good. Now, this third one, they are bringing back the original director and writer combo. I've seen the trailer. It looks pretty good. This is another one where if it's disappointing, dude, I'm going to be real fucking disappointed. But it looks good. I hope it is good. 28 years later, boys.
Yep.
Boyle and Garland, the aforementioned Alex Garland, they're teaming up again. The original writer-director combo, respectively. They're back. So check out the trailer if you haven't seen it.
Speaking of great trailers, and they already have the second one directed by Nia DaCosta from the Candyman remake. She's already got the second one directed. And it's coming out in January of next year.
Nice, dude.
So I think they're going to do justice here, man. I have high hopes.
Yeah, I would think it would at the very least be like a decent addition or a decent chapter, rather, whatever.
I think it's going to be pretty dope.
So we'll run back through real quick, and I think this is going to be a nice, tidy 2-hour show, my dude.
Nice.
These are our most anticipated movies of 2024/25. I said Nosferatu coming up on Christmas, and I want to see this movie, man.
Can't wait.
There should be another Saw. Mickey 17 looks like a crazy, trippy, like sci-fi comedy thriller. The new 28 Days Later installment. The Shrouds, the new Cronenberg dude. The Coogler, Michael B. Jordan team up. And fucking the James Gunn Super Jew. Let's fucking go.
Super Jew. What a list. And what a show today, too.
28 seconds later. 28 your face later.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Shout out to all you guys. Joey, what is up, man? Yeah, shout out to you boys. That I think that will do it, man. That's a pretty damn good 2024. I mean, it's probably the best fucking 2024 movie show ever, I reckon.
Yep.
Dude, thank you so much for joining me again to do this.
Oh yeah, man. Pleasure as always, man. It's been too long.
Well, let's be sure and do it again.
Yes, sir. We will be back soon with another cosmic discussion.
Y'all stay tuned for that shit, man, and definitely smash the like button if you haven't already. I won't go back through the whole thing. I'll make the boys do a little bit of work. But man, shout out to you guys. Happy holidays, boys. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Merry Kwanzaa, or whatever. I don't know the other religious holidays, whatever the end of the year, Islamic holiday, whatever. But yeah, man, whatever it is, whatever you celebrate, enjoy. Hope y'all have some good time with the fam bam. That's what the holidays is all about. And shit, man, the next time I will probably be back on this channel will likely be 2025. So I hope y'all enjoy this stream. And yeah, check out some of these movies. Hopefully we showed y'all a couple landmines you can avoid and some choice nugs to check out if you're looking for some good flicks to watch with the fam or not watch with the fam over the holidays. Aaron, dude, if you have any last words or any promos or anything, the floor is yours, my friend.
Just check out Why We Love Horror. Still over there every Thursday with Abby and John covering the newest horror movie of the week, as well as Abby, John, and myself over on Why We Love Horror are covering Dexter Original Sin episode by episode. So the first episode's up right now. You can go check it out. They're going to be up every Sunday night with the episodes premiering tonight on Friday. So Why We Love Horror, go check them out. Got trivia over there. We've got movie reviews, everything you need. So thank you as always, 2 cents, for having me on, man.
Dude, thank you, man. And yeah, it will not be the last time if I have anything to do with it. So thanks again, boys. Make sure y'all follow Aaron and support Why We Love Horror. Shout out to John and everybody in the chat, man. Mick, the General, Joey, Moyes, everyone that came through, man. Y'all are the shit. And yeah, see y'all in 2025. Happy holidays. And catch you on the next one. Happy viewing.
Peace.
Peace.